their hiding spots, caked in dust and utterly disheveled. In the distance, through the thinning haze of dissipating fog, Grinwa and his search team materialize from the search zone, looking equally battered and worn. Maya's composure hangs by a thread. She greets Faye with clipped words laced in fury. Then her gaze shifts to Jackson, her voice dripping with accusation. "So, you're the source of all our troubles." The air thickens with strain between Maya and Faye, while toward Jackson, Maya's emotions churn in a volatile mix, wary ambivalence edged with barely restrained anger. Grinwa and his team rejoin the cluster, the captain's face etched with deep unease. He leans in, voice a hushed murmur. "Maya. Faye. We've found the shooter. He's alive, but badly hurt, a shattered leg, cracked ribs. Some of my trolls are digging him out of the rubble now." Maya whirls on him, snapping, "Who is it, Captain?" "Fergie's," Faye interjects softly. "Fergie's, no." "Why?" Maya's shock blooms into anguish. "How could he? Our trusted friend." The group's somber pall shifts uneasily, but Grinwa presses on. "There's more. When we found him, he was delirious, babbling from a concussion, repeating that he never should have taken the shot, that he shouldn't have let himself be swayed by." He falters, and Maya's fierce blue glare bores into him, impatience crackling like static. Grinwa swallows and continues. "And when, Maya, she orchestrated this." He adds grimly that Fergie's had wielded one of the Hume's potent rock-slicing tools, meant for quarrying stone, but a flaw in the barrel had thrown his aim disastrously wide, sparing the precise strike. Jackson cuts in, his tone matter-of-fact. "Well, it's fortunate he missed. My suit packs a built-in nuclear device, a dead man's switch. That electrical surge from his weapon would have triggered it, scorching 5 miles of landscape flat. Ulysses, in his madness, was gearing up to deploy it." Maya then silences him mid-sentence, her fury erupting like a long-dormant volcano. She fixes Jackson with eyes ablaze in unadulterated loathing. "Vile humans, disgusting. Why did your kind always hunger to ravage our realm with your cursed weapons?" Her rage spirals, teetering on the brink of unraveling. "You drag your death machines into our world. You slaughtered our kin, torched our villages. You shattered my family." In a thunderous display of primal wrath, Maya unfurls her wings, their delicate lilac hues flushing crimson at the tips. She yanks a gleaming blade from her belt and stalks toward Jackson, venom in every step. "I should end you right here and now." Faye gathers enough strength to flutter her wings and swiftly hovers to her feet, shielding Jackson as she stands firm before the descending, furious Maya. "Maya, stop," pleaded Faye. Maya spoke in a firm, commanding tone. "Move aside, little sister. I will finish this." Jackson tried to speak, only to be cut off by Faye. "If you value your life, hold your tongue, Jackson." He silently complies. "Maya, please, I love you, my sister. But I will not let you harm him." Maya recoils, unaccustomed to being challenged and unwilling to fight with Faye. Her wings shrink as she simply says, "Why do you care about this, human? He has caused nothing but pain." Grinwa steps forward and gently but warily places his hand on Maya's shoulder, grunting, "Maya, let this go. It's getting late, and the wolves will soon be out hunting." She replies calmly, "Of course you are correct, my old friend." Maya turns to Faye and says in a calmer tone, "We will deal with this later." Faye, "Get Jackson on board the skyship when it lands." Later, Dreadnought descends and sets down on the newly cleansed open space. Celine, however, is too large to land. She hovers above as doors beneath her open and a lift is lowered. Fergie's, being too big, was placed in the main cargo hold earlier, within the bowels of the huge skyship. As the skyships leave the area, a flash of mysterious light flickers as a single powerful pulse for a moment. In the center of the bleached, dark landscape, a slight unearthly rumble emanates from the ground, then silence. Heading back to Woods Grove, Celine and Dreadnought hum onward through the star-dusted, crystalline skies, bathed in the moon's ethereal glow. The open-top deck of the skyship Celine, a few crew members linger, murmuring in hushed tones about the somber events of the past few hours, while the exquisite midnight canopy weaves a serene tranquility over them all. In the ship's rustic medical bay, Faye tends to Jackson alongside the healers. They labor over his crumbling mech suit, from which 1-inch thick chunks flake away like shattered eggshell. exposing the ragged shredded environmental liner clinging to his frame. Around his waist, gel packs adhere to the insulated garment, connected by slender tubes that snake into his body, alongside an array of peculiar attachments, sustaining his vital functions. The surge of energy Fae, unleashed to slay Ulysses, had also rendered the once indomitable steel plating brittle as fractured ice. Fae prees away another fragment of armor. Jackson speaks, his voice laced with quiet dread. Maya hates me, Fae. She craves my blood. Startled by his bluntness, she eases into a reassuring banter. She won't lay a finger on you, Jackson. You have my solemn vow. Cast it from your thoughts. The two remain eternally bound by the cataclysmic events that unfolded across countless lunar cycles. She, Jackson, and Ulysses had, in a fleeting yet profound instant, Meriden's emergence, laid bare every secret of one another's souls. It was a torrent too vast to fathom, and now Faye must somehow distill it for the High Council. Jackson offers his aid. We'll see. For now, focus on mending. He quips with a wry edge. Maya terrified the life out of me. And I owe you for standing at my side, Faye. You're welcome, Jackson. But heed this, you're a stranger in our realm, and its shadows hold lessons you must yet absorb. Faye presses on. Maya would have ended you without remorse, but that storm has passed. Speak no more of it. Jackson nods, accepting her counsel. Faye harbors a deep affection for this enigmatic human, though his ways sometimes spark her ire. The door hisses open. Maya strides in with measured poise. Jackson recoils instinctively, but Faye steadies him with a gentle press of her fingers to his arm. How fares our wayward human charge? Maya inquires of the troll healer, Barus. Lily divested him of that cursed armor. Barus replies gruffly. Wounds cleansed and bound tight now. Maya's lingering resentment toward Faye, for defying her earlier counsel to flee the fray during the clearing's confrontation, melts away. After all, Faye is a rebel at heart, much like Maya herself in those distant moons of youth. Turning to Jackson, Maya softens. Perhaps I've judged you too harshly. Faye's drawn to you like a moth to flame. She's ever been enchanted by your world, just as our father was. And if she places her faith in you, then so shall I. To Faye, she adds, a word, sister. The pair drifts to a circular window etched with golden runes. Maya extends a courteous invitation. Join me below, to look in on Fergus. In the hold, Fergus perches on a sturdy crate, his leg, arm, and rib secured with splints and fresh wrappings. Lucidity has returned, sharpening his gaze, but his features are carved with guilt, shame, and profound regret. Maya addresses him in a tone of gentle empathy. How do you fare, big man? I am steeped in shame, Maya. Faye, my deepest apologies. Forgive this fool's folly. The sisters harbor no grudge and absolve him without hesitation. Anwen, however, will face stern reckoning. Her deceptions could have spiraled into catastrophe, especially after Jackson's revelation of the nuclear device. Maya summons a nearby troll crewman. Fetch more bedding for Fergus, if you would. It grows chill down here. With that, the sisters depart, ascending to the bridge where Grinwa steers Celine at a steady 20 knots. Faye and Maya stand on the bridge as a languid dawn unfurls in the distance, its diffuse, flickering lancing through the vast windows, glinting off the towering sentinels of Druiness ancient trees on the horizon. How fare your engines, Captain, since the orb's infusion? Faye inquires. Splendidly, Faye, no coil burnout, and she purrs like a magnificent beast. Grinwa booms, his words laced with irrepressible mirth. Grinwa's jovial, roguish troll banter never fails to amuse, and Faye lets out a warm chuckle. At the bridge's rear, Maya draws Faye aside for a hushed word about Anwen. What shall we do with our wayward sister, Faye? She has disgraced us, and herself most of all. Faye replies thoughtfully, I'll speak with her, Maya. She'll be shattered, fragile amid this whirlwind of late. Maya nods in accord. She knows her own commanding presence can overwhelm like a tempest, and it might terrify the vulnerable Anwen. The sisters step out onto Celine's bow, with Dreadnought flanking to port. Far below sprawls the quaint hamlet of Green Hollow, basking in the ascending sun's golden caress as it crests the verdant canopy of Woodsgrove's treetop metropolis. Glorious morning, with gossamer, luminous clouds drifting like ethereal guardians through the boughs of the colossal trees. Sun climbs higher. The two grand vessels berth at Woods Grove Central Tree Station, crowning the arboreal heart of the city. The weary company disembarks, scattering toward hearths and rest after the grueling night. All crave the balm of hard-won slumber. Grinwa withdraws to his quarters, his sanctuary and steadfast home aboard his cherished Selene, for a few restorative hours. The crew bustles to offload cargo and replenish holds for the day's ventures. Meanwhile, Faye and Maya linger in one of the skyship's lavish passenger cabins, their postures taut with apprehension as they steel themselves to face Anwen and the High Council. Fergus and Jackson remain aboard Selene until the wounds mend sufficiently for departure. Jackson, mending swiftly and feeling markedly improved, chafes under the grip of idleness. He approaches a crew member with a query: "Is it permitted to take a stroll about the skyship, just to stretch my legs?" The troll blinks in bafflement at Jackson's phrasing. "Why seek even longer limbs? Your frame towers tall enough already." Pained laugh escapes Jackson, followed by a wry quip. "Ah, I keep forgetting, your folk sometimes misconstrue my turns of phrase. It's an ancient human idiom, it merely means to amble about." "Ah, I grasp it now. Of course, but steer clear of the bridge." Old Grin was particular about who treads there. Jackson offers his thanks to the obliging troll. Leaning on a stout staff for support, he limps along the ship's majestic timbered passageways. Selene evokes for him the storied galleons of Earth's 1800s, alive with souls clad in steampunk buccaneer finery and eclectic Gothic airs bustling through decks. Some hail him with friendly nods. An elven gentleman spies his labored gait and lends a steadying arm up a flight of unforgiving stairs before vanishing into the next corridor. Others eye this human oddity with unabashed intrigue. A ravishing Valkyrie, kin to the elves, her skin a luminous azure, her gaze an otherworldly alabaster, bestows upon him a flirtatious glance in passing, ensnaring his attention until he collides with a nearby cabinet by a hatch. She utters a curious laugh at the bumbling human, and Jackson mutters to himself with a grin, "I'm a veritable sideshow attraction." But gods, she was breathtaking. Buoyed by the encounter, he presses on, his gaze alight with avid wonder as he roams the colossal, gilt-embellished marvel of wood and whimsy. Jackson reaches the open-top deck, his gaze riveted to the vast arboreal expanse of Woods Grove and the immense skyship platform far below, as he peers over Selene's hovering barrier. Seeing vertigo seizes him, threatening to buckle his knees and plunge him into oblivion. A soft voice calls out, laced with warmth, "And you don't tumble over the edge, Jackson, it's a perilous drop." He whirls to find Faye, her laughter a gentle ripple at his awkwardness. "Oh, good morning, Faye. Just stretching my legs on this stroll. This place is breathtaking, everything looms so grand, and your world, it's utterly enchanting." The pair lingers at the bow, but Jackson's levity fades, his expression clouding as he turns to her with grave intent. "Ulysses meant to come here, you know, to unfasten the device from my suit, soar to a safe remove, and detonate it at the valley's bottom. It would have gouged a colossal crater into the earth, shattering the tree's ancient roots to unearth some buried stronghold beneath the city that once thrived here. He was convinced something of immense power slumbered deep below." Faye cuts him short, her tone sharp with unease. "Why dredge this up now, Jackson? The peril has passed, your armor lies in ruins, naught but twisted shards and charred conduits." Jackson falls silent, and Faye perceives the heavy mantle of remorse weighing on him, an echo of humanity's ancient hubris. She meets his eyes, hers igniting in a vivid azure blaze, and a soothing wave washes over him, banishing turmoil, much like the balm she once bestowed on Fergus amid Greenhaven's recent cataclysm. He exhales, a wry smile breaking through. "Strange. I feel worlds better already, and mending quicker than I dared hope." Faye beams, her voice bright with reassurance. "That's the ether weaving its grace into you, attuning your essence to our realm. Soon, you'll brim with vitality, stronger, healthier, and blessed with years beyond your mortal span." Jackson reels, astonishment etching his features at the profound alchemy unfolding within him. Later, they rendezvous with Maya to confront Anwen. Faye urges Jackson to join them. He might yet prove an ally, but he must remain concealed alongside Maya on a shaded outdoor balcony, biding his time until Faye has broached the matter with Anwen, who sequesters herself in the Grand Library under Professor Arcuna's watchful eye.